Dan Ghosty set a Black Ops 7 record for the best hardpoint KD at 2.92 in the Paris Gentlemates match versus the Los Angeles Thieves. So today we're going to take a look at this hardpoint series, and we are going to figure out what was the key to Dan Ghosty's success, because to put out a 2.92 and set a record is a absolutely phenomenal feat. So we're going to break it down, look at the engagements, look at what Dan Ghosty does on the map to achieve such a high kill death ratio. Let's go ahead and we are going to kick into this. So right off the break, we are going to be taking a look at number 8, his position right off the bat. And one of the things that we are going to be paying attention to throughout the entire time, I talk about this in every single one of my videos when looking at Call of Duty, you are going to be paying attention to the minimap most of all. The position for each of the players is absolutely crucial, and it is the thing that is going to separate what your attention is going to look at from the map. So immediately right off the bat, we've got Dan Ghosty's first kill here. He picks up a quick and easy kill over onto Abizi. Looking at his positioning, this is something, again, that is very, very key. So Abizi is going to be coming in. This is just a simple trade. Okay, this is a simple trade play, exactly how you would be expecting anybody to be playing in a team-based situation. Abizi comes up, is trying to get control over mid. You have Kenny and Kenny and Hydra are lurking in the back. Scrap looks like he is respawning, but Hydra gets a kill onto Envoy, and Sib and Ghosty are moving up to Chow here. Abizi is running pretty far forward, ends up getting absolutely face checked as he slides around the corner here, takes down Sib. Ghosty is going to be lurking in couches, understanding the situation here, can go in, sees that Sib is dead, so Ghosty slides out, gets the kill onto Abizi, and that's a quick and easy trade, putting Ghosty on the map for his first kill. We're going to be seeing a lot of that throughout these hardpoint engagements. One of the things that Paris Gentlemates does in absolutely incredibly versus the Los Angeles Thieves is their ability to play as a team. Every single kill that we will see Ghosty get does not happen as a solo kill. Even when he gets this kill over here onto Kenny, he gets this kill over onto Abizi, immediately pulls out his pistol, he fires off his last few shots over at over onto Scrap, doesn't get the kill, but Scrap backs off past mid-cut. Ghosty in this next engagement sees Kenny, and I mean, this is just simply, he just world stars him. There's no better way to put it. I mean, you can even see it here right away in the engagement. Ghosty takes those shots off, switches over to the pistol, and just outguns Kenny. That's just Ghosty being Ghosty. There's not really much more to say. I think there were some team shots actually that do come in from Envoy. Yep, you can see them there. So this is another thing that is a huge key factor to Ghosty's success. So Kenny goes to get this chow on to Ghosty. Ghosty immediately starts shooting with his pistol, but again, you can see right away here, Ghosty starts shooting, continues shooting, but actually, it might not even be that many team shots. Looks like those shots that are coming in, Envoy doesn't even start firing his gun. You can tell here when looking at the minimap. I thought it was going to be more team shots, but I was wrong. Ghosty is just built different. So Ghosty outguns Kenny with his pistol there. I mean, Kenny just got world starred. There's not really much more to be talking about that way. And then immediately Ghosty still plays his life. So the thing that I love here from Ghosty is you can see it right after he beats Kenny. He doesn't immediately try and slide out onto the hill. He knows that Scrap is going to be lurking near mid-cut. Scrap got the kill onto Neptune. So Ghosty knows that Scrap is going to be playing there. If he slides out to try and get control, Scrap can just easily laser him down, and that's just going to be the end of Ghosty's life. So immediately right there, Ghosty has a ton of knowledge. He gets a kill onto Kenny. He anticipates people are going to be playing through mid. He knows that Scrap is playing through mid-cut, so he decides to just wait for the rest of his team. You can see he reloads, plays his life, gives an opportunity for Envoy to slide out and take down Hydra, which is going to force Scrap to try and move up. But now Ghosty has the cover here. He's got eyes right on Scrap and just rips him off there onto mid-cut, and that will give the Gentlemates control. You can see throughout his success is spending a ton of time around his teammates. He does finally take his first death after he does pick up 3 kills, but this P1 works pretty well in favor of both teams, honestly, kind of back and forth, and it's pretty solid in what we like to see. Going into the rotation, you can see LA Thieves, they push out, they get control of spawns here. Ghosty gets a rip out onto Abizi, just starts immediately shooting, takes him down. Sib just probably just runs a little bit too far forward. You can see in this, so Ghosty gets this kill over onto Abizi, runs a little bit too far forward, and Ghosty is going to be taking down Sib. Gets a team kill, but it's not a big deal. Scrap is there for the trade, trades him out, but Neptune is there immediately for the trade once again. Spawns back in favor of the Gentlemates going into this P2. And now Ghosty can set himself up for even more success. Going into this P2, you have Envoy sitting on hill, and Sib and Ghosty are playing right behind through Broken, and then you have Neptune running a route through mid, keeping check over on the lobby, making sure that nobody is trying to pinch that way. Envoy gets taken down off of hill, but Sib is there, and Ghosty. Look at this angle here that Ghosty is playing. So Ghosty has come up the stairs. He is very much watching outer. And then he also, with his angle, when Sib goes out to chow, Ghosty still watches outer for a little bit, but he is already there on the return. So the moment Sib dies, Ghosty is immediately moving to fill that gap. Ghosty fills that gap, takes down Scrap right off the bat, slides around the pillar, takes down Scrap, and then Ghosty is now in what would look like normally to be a pretty unfavorable situation, and does end up getting killed. So gets traded away. This is a pretty scrappy hill between both teams. A lot of kills back and forth going between both teams. Ghosty coming up again off of the garage side, and I mean, this is just simply he does what he needs to do. He sees a BZ down here, takes the shots down as he takes down Envoy. Pretty clinical trades here. And that's a lot of what you'll see Ghosty doing in the early stages of this hardpoint. So Ghosty gets a kill onto Abizi, Sib takes down Kenny, and then when Scrap comes in to trade away Sib, which you'll see happen, Scrap trades away Sib, and immediately right there, Ghosty's like, all right, he's got Sib, he's focused on Sib, and Ghosty wall bounces up the stairs, immediately starts ripping on Hydra on Scrap, takes him down. And then Hydra tries to jump in to get the trade, but Ghosty, once again, just absolute demon on that pistol. Scrap goes to shoot him. Ghosty trades him away. Ghosty plays very smart here. He jumps back down the stairs. You can see he's down here, so even though Hydra slides out to chow to try and get the trade, Ghosty's not even there. Hydra now has to try and figure out, where did Ghosty go? Did he slide through outer to try and get that positional advantage? Did he go back down the stairs? Hydra chooses to check outer, and that just sets him immediately up to get taken down. Ghosty rips him off with the Jaeger, and that's just going to be the end of that one. Ghosty's now at 8-3. A lot of Ghosty success that we were seeing in these early hills are from his map awareness. He understands the positions that people are going to be going, and he's playing against at least two of his former teammates. That's something that a lot of people will be thinking about when they are playing at that top level, is their opponents. Unfortunately, if you're trying to get better at ranked play, you can't really pay attention too much to your former opponents unless you've been playing in like top 250 lobbies where you're playing same people constantly. But in those lower elos, you're not going to really have that same level of awareness from your previous teammates. Ghosty understands exactly how Scrap and Hydra are going to play. He knows what to look for. He knows what their thought processes are going to be, and he's able to adjust accordingly. And now, starting off his series at 8-3, he's already looking really, really strong at a little bit over a 2 KD at the start. So now Kenny is going to try and pinch in. Ghosty, unfortunately, does not get the read, so he does get killed, and that's going to be a quick retake for the LA Thieves as we get ready to go into P3. So Ghosty, going into this rotation on a P3, he gets a quick 2-piece. Now, this 2-piece would normally be a little bit more difficult to get, but Ghosty has swapped to the Drawback. He is no longer using the M15, at least going into this play. And here, you can see those shots coming in. He spots a BZ playing through lobbies. So both Ghosty and Envoy are moving here. Abizi is watching lobby near couches. He's got this area under control. Ghosty and Envoy see this. Ghosty, with the drawback on that long barrel, gives that drawback a very solid feeling for the AR. It basically just becomes a faster AR in that moment. So Ghosty here from this angle spots out Abizi, shoots him here. He understands that there's at least one more person on old. Okay, so he knows that there's going to be somebody that will try and chow him coming down this way. So rather than rotating out this way to head towards new, because if Ghosty were to just move this way and start heading towards new, if he slides out this way, Kenny's got a free kill. Absolutely free kill. So instead, Ghosty plays his irons. He watches this angle, and it turns into a 2-piece. Going into this P3, Hydra lurking there, does get the free kill. Gets 1 kill. Neptune is there for the trade. And this engagement here. So this engagement here is another big factor for not just Ghosty's success, but for the Gentlemates in general. In this engagement, Envoy is laying down here. Neptune and Ghosty are approaching this way on tin side. Okay? Ghosty and Neptune are approaching this way. Envoy gets killed here by Hydra. Neptune and Ghosty are there for the trade. In this situation, they're now in a 2v1. I don't know if that was something that was necessarily calculated, but seeing that they are now in a 2v1 gives them that full advantage. Both Neptune and Ghosty start shooting. Ghosty is the one who gets the final hit. He gets the credit for the kill. That's the end of that engagement. But the thing that's important here is them playing as a team. Hydra here knows he's got a teammate lurking nearby. So he knows Kenny is sitting on hill. Hydra decides to solo chow. Really doesn't necessarily have too much of an option. Hydra can't really predict where Ghosty and Neptune are. So Hydra can either do what he did and solo chow to get this kill onto Envoy, or if Hydra wanted to, could move back towards 10 and wait. But if he moves back towards 10 and waits, it could be a 2v3. And it's still an unfortunate situation. But this is a credit that comes from Gentlemates. Because they play as a team, they all move in at the same time, shooting their guns, chowing at the same time, waiting for each other, and playing off of each other to get those kills. Hydra gets the kill there, immediately gets traded out by Neptune. Ghosty is there. And again, Scrap moves in just a little bit too late. So Envoy goes down. Neptune trades out Hydra. Scrap is trying to rotate back. He's watching mid to see for when when Sib comes down. Because Sib just got the kill onto a BZ. But again, it's a 2v1 here. It's a 1v1 here. Scrap goes, oh crap, there's 2 people coming down this way. I need to rotate back. He goes to rotate back and just gets ripped. He's getting shot from multiple different sides. Scrap is in a hopeless situation. He gets taken down. And Ghosty picks up 2 and now is sitting at 12-5. So this is another dirty setup from the Gentlemates. Sib wins his 1v1 against a BZ, immediately wraps into their spawn, starts playing through Dojo. Okay? He wraps through Dojo. Ghosty's got full eyes on everything mid. This whole area belongs to Dan Ghosty. And you can even see here, Neptune's got this area. Envoy's got this area. Sib comes in here. Gets at least 1 free kill. Another kill happens this way. So action happens on these 2 areas of the map. At this point, nobody comes through mid. Since nobody comes through mid, Ghosty understands, okay, they're all coming in through Dojo or they're coming in through outer. Ghosty moves out, starts trading out. So even though Envoy gets killed by Scrap, by this double chow by Scrap and Kenny, this still gives all the information that Ghosty needs. Sib gets 1 free kill. Neptune takes down Hydra. Ghosty's there to trade out Scrap, is there to trade out Kenny. Boom. Ghosty continues to just absolutely destroy LA Thieves. And not only that, Ghosty is getting a ton of hill time. Ghosty has got 34 seconds on the hill going into P4. So Ghosty is showing a ton of objective time. Yes, Envoy has a bunch as well, but the objective time that Ghosty is able to get is another key factor. And again, in this situation here, Ghosty's got once again a dirty, dirty angle. There's really not much more to say about this whole situation than Ghosty with the dirty angles. Outer is covered here because Ghosty's got this full line of sight. Neptune is coming in behind him, so if somebody plays through here, so if somebody is playing through this area, Neptune's behind Ghosty, can cover it if somebody tries to slide chow Ghosty. Okay, already right there, the main areas of entry are covered. Envoy is here. That means if somebody were to play through mid, they have to get through Envoy first. These setups is the key to Ghosty's success. Ghosty's able to get the kills and the OBJ time that he gets because of the positions of his teammates. Yes, Sib got killed here, but that means that somebody could be playing towards outer. So Ghosty hard irons that way. Neptune comes up to watch mid door, and they've got full control of every single entry point. So Scrap kills Envoy. Neptune gets traded out. Ghosty is now in an unfortunate situation. See, even though they had a good setup, you still got to win your gunfights. Unfortunately, Gentlemates don't win the gunfights. Ghosty's still able to rip one and hold at least a little bit of time here. But again, that awareness from Ghosty here. In this situation right now, Ghosty is sitting in a 1v4, basically. So all of his teammates get ripped. Sib is here, but he will eventually get killed. Neptune is killed, chowing there, so Ghosty's now holding outer. Okay. Ghosty's firing off shots on a Kenny, but as he's doing that, Envoy is moving in this way to chow Hydra. Even if Envoy dies, he can at least get a few shots off on a Hydra, and Ghosty can just turn around and trade. If Ghosty moves even just slightly this way, there's no line of sight here. The access from the LA Thieves gets completely cut off. The most they can do is move forward to contest the point, but Sib is here. Sib being here makes it a lot more difficult for them to contest. So even if they do contest, Ghosty can turn, take down Hydra, turn back, get the kills. So Ghosty gets the rip on a Kenny. Hydra starts shooting, does get the kill onto Sib. Again, looking like Ghosty's in a really unfortunate situation. Envoy slides around the pillars, understands that Hydra is there. Ghosty just says, oh, I don't even care that I'm one shot. Turns around, trades him out. Scrap is there for the trade, but again, they were in a pretty hopeless situation. LA Thieves do get the break. Even still, Ghosty still manages to run away with 2 kills. So now the re-break comes in from LA Thieves, and the power once again from the Gentlemates playing as a team. Sib and Ghosty both moving through outer. Sib gets the kills onto Hydra, does manage to pick up 2 more, even though Ghosty does get traded out. Doesn't really matter too much. LA Thieves do manage to hold. This was actually a really good hold from the LA Thieves. But here, again, look at the way the Gentlemates play off of each other. I wish I could zoom in on the full screen. I'm not exactly sure how to do that. I might just do it in the post. But look at the way that they play. Gentlemates move forward. They immediately split. Sib starts playing through mid, trying to look towards new. That's where Sib is looking forwards. Okay. But the rest of the Gentlemates here are looking for at least one more re-break to try and pick up that scrap time. Ghosty plays through outer. Neptune plays through mid door. Envoy plays through mid door. The rest of LA Thieves are moving out towards new. The moment this engagement starts, Envoy slides out through the door. He's underneath the box. Envoy's basically got a free kill there. Scrap's already getting tagged out before he can even ADS. But even outside of that moment, the way that the Gentlemates have themselves positioned, the only area that they would be considered even somewhat vulnerable is if somebody was playing towards spawn. But in this moment, because of I'm assuming this would be because of their communications. Even though Kenny is firing off on a Sib this way, Sib's going to say, 1 mid, 1 mid, 1 mid. He's knowing now these Gentlemates here don't even know if anybody is playing through this way. They're going to assume everybody's moving towards new. And if everybody is moving towards new, This becomes a free kill, and free scrap time goes right over to the Gentlemates. Ghosty sits there to hold the scrap time at least a little bit, but since they have the lead, they can start pressuring towards new. They start pressuring towards new, and they look great going into the second set of hard points. Again, Ghosty's still sitting at a 2.0 KD. Even the moments where he gets traded out, they're not without purpose. Ghosty is able to play so far off of his teammates that that's what achieves a lot of the success with the Gentlemates. So going into the second set of hard points, Ghosty immediately pulls the streak. This is going to force all of LA Thieves off the point. Doesn't even matter where the kills come from. That's basically a free break on P1 because they have to go either into the buildings or they have to go mid-cut to not get hit by the Hellstorm. Hydra moves forward, tries to get some kills, does find himself on a 7, eventually does get traded out, but Ghosty, even though it might look like he's doing nothing, he's actually doing so much taking the position that he does. So Ghosty calls in the streak and then immediately moves towards new. And his position towards new becomes even bigger of a factor than just giving new control. Looking at the positions of the Gentlemates, all of LA Thieves are here on P1. Ghosty is up at new, and the rest of the Gentlemates are down towards couches. But that means this whole area here is now considered Gentlemates territory. This is their spawn. This is where the game is going to spawn them. And in relation towards new, that spawns them right. Free access through garage up into new. Since this is Gentlemates Thieves, they are going to be forced to spawn in a few positions. Either they're going to spawn here or they're going to spawn here. They might spawn here, but it's not likely. Because Ghosty is here, it would be considered him watching that area. So this area is not likely, which means they're spawning really far away from new. Gentlemates now have full control of new with their spawns. So you can see the kills come through. Neptune and Sib get a few kills, and then the LA Thieves, they spawn way far out, absolutely in Narnia because of Ghosty's positioning. Ghosty even then chooses to move back, which gives even more pressure and more spawn control for the Gentlemates in those last 3 seconds at P1. So going into new, Gentlemates have more control over the entire map. And now, Gentlemates have control of new. They have an idea of where they're spawning. Ghosty immediately starts ripping heads from where he's positioned, continues to soak up that hill time, and it basically breaking through outer here is very difficult to do. P2 is an absolute money hill if you spawn them out. Because the LA Thieves spawn right here, they have a few options. Their fastest route to get on hill is to cut through control room and try and play out towards broken. Their other options are to try and move towards dojo and maybe move this way or possibly move towards dojo and then play through mid. But look at the difference in length of routes that they can take. They could also just cut straight through mid and go up that way. Their shortest route to get to the hard point, right here. And since the Thieves are behind, they really don't have much of a choice but to try and play through broken. And since they're playing through broken, this then alerts all of the Gentlemates what they need to look for, and it's just free head rips. And that's why they start just racking up those kills. Hydra does manage to sneak out a little bit towards mid, but Envoy is lurking in the corner, watching for that route. And once again, even though Scrap picks up 2, it doesn't matter. It's not enough. The trades still come through in favor of Gentlemates. Ghosty barely even needs to do anything in those engagements. Ghosty gets a couple more kills, lurks around a little bit, looking for those spawn controls again as they start to look towards P4 or P3. Sorry, this is P2. But again, Ghosty is just it here in this fight. It's just a lineup. Ghosty slides out. Doesn't even really need a slide. Just checks that, irons it, boom, everybody's dead. Ghosty utilizes multiple guns, plays off of the positions from his teammates, and just knows exactly where to be at the right time. And this is the biggest key to Ghosty's success. He continues to carry that out throughout the entirety of the map. So now, as we look into the second P3, the Gentlemates have set themselves up for success once again. They don't bother playing for that little bit of scrap time, and putting themselves in the position that they do gives them another great opportunity to be able to split spawns. Sib and Ghosty are here. The LA Thieves are here. Because of their positions, this is actually a pretty solid heads up from the Thieves. So we have Scrap and Kenny are here. Abizi is here. Hydra is there. Okay. Because of Abizi playing towards Dojo, this spawn, despite the fact that there are two Gentlemates here, is not going to happen. Because Abizi just gets a free rip. Scrap is mid. Any spawns mid, not going to happen. Envoy dies here. But that means that the area that would be most available for spawns for the Gentlemates, right back here in their starting spawn. This being here in their starting spawn gives them a free split push. So then you'll see it. Envoy and Neptune both spawn back on couches / garage side, and now they just have the opportunity to split pinch, and it's just 2v2s that they have to win. Ghosty is just absolutely disgusting, wins his gunfights, and takes over the map. The biggest thing to take away from Ghosty's success here is his positional awareness. Ghosty does not inherently do anything overly flashy in the entirety of the map. He just knows where to be to get the kills. I think right here is his most flashy play. And so right there is Ghosty's most flashy play. But again, even in this situation, Ghosty just plays off of the information that he has from his team. Ghosty moves through mid-cut. They have the kill onto Abizi here. That's one dead as Neptune moves in. He knows because of Sib's position here and Envoy's position here, they're all coming through Dojo. So Ghosty just has to play off of that. So as time moves on, Ghosty moves up, uses the M15 where he needs to, throws the stun to help him out in the third kill, and the rest is history. Ghosty moves up, takes one more final check, knows that Hydra is there, tags up Hydra, wall bounces. The wall bounce here is another critical part to the success of this play. Okay, so if Ghosty doesn't wall bounce, Scrap can just slide and kill him. But by Ghosty wall bouncing, means that Scrap now has to think a little bit more before he's able to get those shots off. You can even see it. Scrap does exactly what we expected. Scrap slides out, anticipating Ghosty would not be jumping off the wall. Ghosty's off the wall. Scrap has no idea what happened to him. Ghosty gets him, despite Scrap getting another jump shot off. Then turns around, gets the final tag onto Hydra as Hydra takes down Envoy, gets the final shot there to trade him out, pulls out his pistol, and boom, the cleanup is solid from the tags, and Ghosty just continues to dominate the entire map. Now, this is not something that you will learn and be able to just pick up and do. The important thing to look at when watching pros play is seeing the way that they move around the map. You have to pay attention to where they are on the map and the things that they are thinking about. They're watching their teammates. They're playing off of not just where their teammates are, but where their opponents are. Because of those moments, that allows for Ghosty to just put himself in winning situations. Even when he's the one soaking hill time, he's watching the map, he's paying attention to where his teammates are, he's paying attention to where the opponents are, and that's what leads him to win. So that right there is the key to Dan Ghosty's success. That is how Ghosty managed to get a 2.92 and a hardpoint KD record for Black Ops 7. I hope this is helpful, guys. I really enjoy doing a lot of these breakdowns. I know this one is a little bit more in depth, but there's a lot to talk about when you do something as insane as this, as what Ghosty was able to do in this map. So thank you guys again for watching. I want to continue to throw out some of these more analytical plays and doing some more breakdowns. This is the third one so far of the season, and they've been super fun. If you guys have any plays that you're watching throughout that you want to see me take a look at and break down, let me know down in the comments. I would love to be able to find things that we can talk about and continue to help you guys improve as a player, improve as a spectator, so you can understand a little bit more about what the pros are doing during their matches and just overall spending more time enjoying this wonderful game. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, you are loved, you are valued, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we will see you next time.